I'm Kelly Richards, and you're watching Real Visionaries. People call me a super connector, but what I do functionally is sort of a strategist and a business development executive, making deals happen and connecting people. The other thing I do in my company is I act as a trusted advisor to individuals who've already had a lot of success and are looking to reinvent themselves, all in the spirit of driving innovation and forward progression that's going to help people. My guest with me today is Steve Aoki. Thanks for being with us, Steve.
Yeah.
Lovely to have you.
Thank you.
You know, you've done so much in your career. I consider you sort of a multi-hyphenate, from a musician to programming, innovation, everything you've done. We're not going to get into all of it. But I am curious to know what drives you with innovation. What lights you up with it?
I think it's always about having optimal experiences.
For yourself and for your fans?
Yeah, I mean, what I do, for the large part, I make music, but like the love of what I do is the shows. Like, my job is to make sure that the experience that I can give is going to be one of the best I can give.
Exactly.
I want them to leave going, I'll never forget that show. I'll never forget that feeling, and I'm always thinking about how to make it better. So if you take that same philosophy into everything we're doing, whatever music, the way people listen to it, products, the way, whatever we do to put things out there, whether it's fashion, NFTs.
Yes.
We're talking about that and
Exactly.
innovation. Combining what all that is together too, which is the new way that artists are able to participate in all of it, with community and with some sort of collectible element, the NFTs.
Exactly.
And the relationships that they're building with their fans.
That's a segue then to talk about how you got into NFTs and why you're so excited about it. What have you done so far? What have you learned so far?
I got into it like summer 2020 and dropped my first collection in March of 2021. So it's been like a year since the first collection. Yeah. I remember when we dropped it, we didn't know what to expect. We didn't really understand we understand what an NFT is, but we didn't understand what a roadmap is or how to think beyond that. And that's what was next. Everything leading to it, all that time that's leading to it was developing the collection. Everything after was understanding what does it mean to actually provide a roadmap, utility, that relationship that I'm talking about. And when we got to that point, probably mid 2021, that's when the seeds sprouted on what this Aoki-verse world is that is now available. That we launched.
Tell us what it is for people that don't know.
It's a membership community. Like some people might think it's a fan club. Mm-hmm. It's very different. Fan club is 2.0, and that's the one thing that I want to specify. There's like the way people interact in Web 2 and the way people interact in Web 3 is very, very different from the collector or the fan side and the artist and creator side. The artist and creator side has to be more, have more of a meaningful relationship with the collectors and the fans. It's a two-way conversation. It's a relationship now.
Yeah.
Whereas Web 2 is that there is no two-way conversation.
Yeah.
You make what you make and you put it out there to the world and you move on. You move on, like there's no roadmap to that. It's like, we're going to put out music whenever we want. You can download it, listen to it, whatever you want to do, buy the merch or however way you want to do it. It's up to you. Web3 is like, we're going to do this. Of course, you don't want it to inform your creative process so much that you're changing your vision, because that's the balance, right? Because you want to understand what they want, but you have to also stay true to your vision.
Well, exactly. And in that context, how much can the fans or should they get involved from an artist standpoint? Are there lines in your mind about what they can and couldn't do when it comes to influencing what's going on?
With Aokiverse, what I realized, at first I was like, okay, I know what I do in the real world. I do shows and make music. So there's elements there that we're gonna obviously tie into the community. But what I saw what the community wanted was they wanted more of the network that I've been a part of. And I say the network as like Web 2 network for sure, because the Web 2 world of working with so many amazing companies and institutions, and they're all great. They also want to tie in with Web 3 institutions and people that are doing really interesting projects. So there's that kind of crossover, right? That I'm trying to bring to the table.
Yes.
And what I realize is that they want a lot of both, right?
Yes.
And they want to be able to see and be a part of that and having access to what all these different Web3 projects that we're a part of. So that's exactly what we did when we launched Aokiverse. Is we provided a lot of allow lists. So we're like, okay, what are the great blue chip projects that we're connected to that we could, bring back to the family, the membership, and be like, okay, here's some fun projects that we could deliver on right away. Allow lists for the Bapeverse, because I've worked with Bape in the real world.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, this is great. This is something that we can give back to the Aokiverse. The World of Women Galaxy, a group that we've worked with in the past and we talked to, and just wonderful people and a wonderful blue chip project. Gala Games, Walking Dead, Snoop Dogg, Doggies, that's part of Sandbox. Another project I'm part of with Todd McFarlane called Aoki, creator of Spawn, creator of Marketplace.
A lot of collaboration.
Right, and I think a lot of people love that are part of the community. They want more of that. It's only been maybe 2 months since we launched, and we've already bringing a lot of those partnerships to the table, and there's more to come.
So part of the legacy you're creating for yourself and your audience by being early and demonstrating what can be done in collaboration with these collective multiverses that you're in the middle of creating.
It's almost like the way I see it, it's like you trust certain entities.
Yes.
In life. You're like, I love this group because they're connected to these other groups. There's someone that's focusing on, let's say, cars.
Yes.
And you see that they're always around different really cool cars. You're like, well, I'm going to follow them. I want to understand them. I would love to gain access to that world. Then you should follow or subscribe to that membership. Aokiverse is a guinea pig of what a social membership community should look like. It's far greater, far more developed than a fan club. It has fan club elements for sure, so that you could participate in these real world experiences. I've realized that's not just what they want. They want that. They want to, whoever is part of this is already in the NFT world.
Yes.
Is already in crypto.
Now, as far as the fans, though, participating in the NFT, this is incremental revenue that's coming up, too. We can't ignore that.
Yeah.
And there's this issue about both avoiding exploiting and harvesting the fans, where there's going to be backlash from them. Oh, my God, a new revenue stream. They're going to milk me for more money. Versus them actually participating in the upside of revenue by being an owner of an NFT.
Right.
So how do you see that as an artist?
Well, I love the fact that when you go back to when they participate in the NFT is that this is where Web 2, Web 3 differ.
Yeah.
These membership communities that people are part of now that are very popular, whether it's Soho House or whether it's a frequent flyer mileage club, you can't sell those. You have them, let's say you're top tier and you're like, well, I want to switch my airline. You can't really sell it. That's the difference with Web3 is there's individuals that are already top tier, level 6. That's 1,000 credits, over 1,000 credits. There's a few in level 5. If at any point they're like, well, I juiced everything that I want out of it. Now I want to sell it. You have the ability to actually sell that. And I think that's a beautiful thing that you could grow your membership. You could grind in your levels, upgrade it up to a certain point and be like, I had a lot of fun here. I want to sell it now.
So again, it's all about experiences and bringing your fan community and the multiverse and the other communities that you're engaged with and collaborating with all into this new experience.
Right. That's why we started Aokiverse. Was when we did start, we launched it into 24 different projects and communities that we work with. Whether it's Justin Blau and what he's doing to Fuck Render, to the Doodles, to Janksy Squad, to Atom Bomb Squad, to whoever we work with, we already have some level of relationship with them, and we're like, this is a very diverse pool of people. It's not just Steve Aoki fans. If you understand that's the world I love to be a part of, or I love to engage with, have access to, then it's for you.
Do you have any concerns about the potential recession that we might be going into and whether that might slow down adoption of Web3 activities?
Whether things slow down or ramp up, you can't deny that it's going to be part of how it's going to be part of culture. Of course, things are going to slow down. And there's going to be a time when it definitely levels out or ramps up, and it's just the nature.
And you as an early adopter and sort of being all in, is there any mitigation of risk that you think about for yourself if that happens, or are you just going to keep riding it right through?
I always look back at when things were still uncertain about different ways that we socialize. Like at one point in time, the digital imprint of our lives didn't matter. Now it's clear how important what we are in the digital space, social media space, is to who we are. Some people, they don't even touch social media.
Yeah.
I get it. But there's billions upon billions of people that go, that digital imprint is actually a big part of my identity. And now it's a different gameplay because we own before we go in. Whereas before, it's like we're all, billions upon billions of people were accepting before they go on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram that all their data is not theirs. And this larger company can do whatever they want with it, made billions of dollars from it.
And they were being harvested and exploited to a certain extent accordingly.
Right.
So that's what we're trying to avoid from an artist-fan relationship in Web3.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to share about where things are headed and what you're most excited about at the next wave here as you keep building? Because you're way at the forefront.
It's interesting because a week in Web3 is like a year in Web2. So things move rapidly, and I'm not afraid of, larger institutions coming into the space and just taking over. Mm-hmm. They can't move as fast as the independents out there that are making the innovation happen.
And their constituents.
Yeah, it's like whoever's making the innovation, whoever's making those move quicker, they're going to be at the forefront. It's not going to be the institutions. Institutions are going to have to team up with them. And that's exactly what happened with Nike buying Artifact, with Adidas working with G-Money. G-Money is just one guy, but Adidas had to work with G-Money to establish a footprint. No pun intended.
But you did it. I'm really pleased you're with us, Steve. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
We hope you enjoyed the video. At Real Vision, we help you understand the complex world of finance, business, and the global economy with in-depth analysis from real experts. Join the revolution at realvision.com.